Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Sanch, welcome back to the Bodybuilding News Network. We have some fun comparisons for you of Samson Dauda last year versus this year. There has been multiple people saying that I've heard of, I don't know if you've heard it as well, but multiple people saying that Samson is much improved from last year. And I wanted to put some tangible proof behind that, or at least give you some opinions or some options to look at of whether or not he is improved or he is maybe not. So I put together these lineup photos courtesy of NPC News Online. So shout out to them for putting up these photos in such quick succession. And we're going to go ahead and start off with the front double bicep. As always, you should always start with the front double bicep, in my opinion. And I will say that the lighting, although the live stream lighting was horrendous, the lighting for photography was phenomenal, and you can clearly tell here that Samson is much better lit than last year. I will say that the conditioning looks a tad bit improved in the leg department. The midsection looks a tad bit more controlled towards the posing trunks, just a little tighter. The lats look a little bit more exposed, a little more protruding. So that could be either a posing thing or potentially some added muscle tissue. And the arms, chest, and shoulders look relatively the same. If anything, a tad bit improved. So overall, I will agree that the narrative currently that Samson is better is factual, or at least has some grounds to stand on, if you will, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the midsection for his lat spread is never a very strong point for Samson. I'm sure he can agree with that conjecture from myself, that is definitely not his strongest part in this shot, or that shot in general. But the legs do look considerably more conditioned, more separated, could even be a tad bit bigger. It's hard to tell with just one little shot, but I will say that it looks bigger to me. The conditioning looks better to me. I'd say that the shoulders, chest, arms, very comparable. There's a hair on my microphone. The midsection looks better. A little bit more controlled, a little bit more detail. But let me know down below what your guys' thoughts are so far. Guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen. From the side chest, I will say that the chest looks better. It looks more full, a little bit more conditioning. You can see the feathering and the striations in that pectoral, the inner pectoral that he's pushing against the shot from the back. You can tell there's a little bit more conditioning there, a little bit more striations. Love to see that. Arms and the rest of the pec and the delts as well look similar. Now the legs is the big difference in this shot, I will say. The legs, I was actually talking with my girlfriend, and she's like, oh, I noticed that his butt looks bigger. I'm like, well, I don't know if it's that his glute muscle has gotten larger, ladies and gentlemen. I think what's going on is he's squeezing the glute compared to in the last shot he wasn't, because you can see that the quadricep there, the area that Rami's quads look all funky, that is contracted. You can see it's flexed versus the quad in the most recent Olympia last night is not contracted. So it's not as tight, it's not as detailed, where the glute is the opposite. So I don't know, it's very tough to say if he's improved or not, but I will say that the overall presentation looks better. So whether or not that's photography, tan, conditioning, or he's actually improved, it's hard to say. But please share your thoughts down below. Let's look here. The midsection, I like it better this year. It's more detailed. It's more defined. But he is rotated differently. It's a different shot completely. Samson's hitting the shot more traditional of what the judges want to see on the right. And then here on the left, it's not... it is the shot that I prefer. That's how I hit my tricep. I like that shot. But it's not what the judges specifically want. But for a fun pose routine in between, I feel like there's nothing wrong with him doing that. So kudos to him. Keep on doing what he wants to do. The triceps, I would say, look a little bit better just because they're rotated more towards the judges. So I know the judges like that. They're definitely going to be happy with that. And you can also see a lot more detail in the hamstring drop and the glute as well in this year. And maybe that's just because it's pushing up against that back leg, giving it a little bit more detail. But let me know your thoughts. Back double bicep as we're about halfway through these shots. Consider subscribing as we are back from our deployment. Army no mo. Back to making content. Back double. The hamstrings look more improved. The glutes look more improved. The lower back looks, I'd say, bigger, more detailed, so improved. And then the back overall looks thicker, more pop to the surface, more saran wrap to the skin. All in all, I'd say that the back double is improved. The calves are comparable, but no one's looking at the calves here. The arms look downsized from the back, whereas in the front they actually look pretty good. So he definitely dings himself, or at least gets dinged with the back double. And I think we have like 1 or 2 left. 3 left. The lat spread, a lot more detail, a lot more conditioning. The lighting helps a lot. I'm sure the tan as well helps a lot here. The lower back has a lot more fullness to it. It really shows up a lot more. So very good showing from Samson. You can see in the upper traps as well. Glutes, hamstrings, all that is improved. More conditioning. I would say same posing trunks actually. Now that I start looking at it, that's actually kind of funny. I don't know if he did that on purpose or not. Probably for really good comparisons. Hey, use the same posing trunks. Midsection, bigger, fuller though. It's bigger and fuller. And if that's part of the strategy, then perfect. They did exactly what they wanted to. If not, I would actually prefer last year's midsection. It's a little bit tighter. Chest looks, if anything, a little bit fuller. I keep forgetting this is not a touchscreen computer. And the quads as well, looking good. Marginally improved, if anything. And our last shot, thank you for watching. Consider subscribing. The most muscular, definitely with the hands clasped, is a way better shot for him. Makes the midsection look less blocky. And I'm sure when he's doing the shots like this at the end, he gets excited. He's not thinking too much about, how the physique's looking. He's just trying to present the best that he can and bring excitement to the pose. But I will say that overall, ladies and gentlemen, I will agree with the online commentators, to include myself, that Samson Dauda is improved in 2024. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing. Thanks to Dragon Pharma for sponsoring my other show, the Monday Morning Muscle Podcast, hosted by Olympian Tonio Burton. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.